Hey guys, welcome back to another week of the CNL. It's going to be week number 8, and we are coming off a 6-0, unfortunately, which sucks. So this week we're going to be going up against Recordman and the Munching Munchlax. He is from New Zealand, by the way. I am Australian, if you couldn't tell, so it is going to be a pretty big rivalry between these two sides this week. Now, Recordman's 4-3. He is having a really nice season. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the introduction. Let's go through Recordman's team. He has a Mew. Mew is, it can do anything, of course. It is a Mew. There's nothing much that can be said about it. Stealth Rocks, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, can be... unfortunately, Mew is not one of his Z captains. Or fortunately, sorry. Because otherwise I would have had to prep a Z Mew, which is terrifying. But yeah, Entei. Entei is, it's a really nice fire type. Bandit's Sacred Fire Stab is absolutely terrifying, of course. I do have some pretty decent resist, though, so I'm not sure whether it'll come or not. We have Primarina. Primarina is a really nice bulky water type. I do have Remoraids to be able to take it on pretty well. Spoiler alert, I'm not actually going to be bringing my Remoraids this week, unfortunately. But yeah, Primarina can also function as a solid specs wall breaker as well, or with Liquid Voice. But that is Primarina. We have Nidoking. Sheer Force wall breaker, can be Scarf, can be Life Orb, can be physical to a degree as well. Does get some decent physical coverage. But yeah. He has Komala, decent spinner, can actually really do some work offensively against my team. Sleep Talk Last Resort is a set that I'm absolutely terrified of. Put on a Choice Band, and I don't have much of anything that can switch into it. That's really all about Komala. Gorgeist, the Ghost type, of course, a spin blocker. So if I in the rare event that I do manage to get hazards up against him, or if he manages to get hazards up against me, then I won't be able to clear them away. But yeah, Mega Sableye, of course, the most annoying mon known to man. It cannot be toxic because of Magic Bounce. You can't really set up hazards to chip it down because of Magic Bounce. You can't roar it out if it sets up. Because of Magic Bounce, gets reliable recovery as well. It can just stall out teams. It can just literally do anything. It can set up calm mines. It can just be an offensive mon as well. A little on the slow side though. Anyway, Conkeldurr, of course. Choice Band, slap a Choice Band on it, and it's very, very terrifying. Guts Flame Orb as well. Very viable set. Drain Punch as well, so I can get its health back. And, Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum is also terrifying. Head Smash Spam is very easy against my team. I do not have a Steel type, so I don't really switch in properly to it, aside from maybe Scrafty. I'm not counting Zygarde because, it's a dragon. Tyrantrum's also a dragon type. We have Moltres. Moltres is the last of the Z captains. The Z captains are Primarina, Gorgeist, and Moltres. It can, Z Solar Beam, Z Sunny Day, can just be a Z Flying Nuke, Z Hurricane. And that's pretty much all I can say. It is 4 times weak to hazards, so he will need to bring some decent removal if he does want to get this thing in and sweep. And last but not least, of course, there is the GOAT Weedle. You can see it just next to the logo on Recordman's screen there. But yeah, Weedle's, I don't really see it coming, but it's still the GOAT. I don't think it's been brought to a game yet, so it does mean that it has not died. But yeah, that's going to be the team of my opponent. Now I'm going to go through my own team, starting off with a substituting Dragon Dancing Zygarde. The weird EV spread. The EV spread is very weird. I have enough HP to the point where I do have a 404 HP substitute, which means that... 101 HP substitute, which means that Nightshade from the Mega Sableye will not be able to break this thing's sub. If you did not know, of course, this is a Showdown League, and the mons are at level 100, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Zygarde. Figgy Berry is there to give it health back. 1,000 arrows, extreme speed. Unfortunately, this thing does get walled out by the Gore guys, so I'm going to have to be a little careful about that. Next up, we have a especially defensive. There are no leftovers there because I'm an idiot and forgot my graphics. Sylveon, Hyper Voice, Baton Pass, Wish, Heal Bell. It is a fairly standard cleric set. I was thinking about running specs to be able to break the Sableye, but you know, I didn't think it'd be worth it. He has 3 very reliable resists to fire and 4 resists to fairy spam. Excuse me. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Sylveon. We have a support Rotom. It is a mainly defensive variant. It is holding a Culver Berry. This is mainly for the Komala. My logic is that I can switch into a Choice Band in Last Resort and then Volt Switch back out again if I need to. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Defog as well to get rid of clear hazards because you know hazards are a little annoying, and then Pain Split to get my health back, get my keep my longevity up a little bit. We have my Head Smash switch in here, which is my Scrafty, max HP, max defense, Impish. I do have 4 attack. I do have Dragon Tail on this to be able to phase out potential setup on the Tyrantrum. It's also relatively useful for the Mega Sableye if it doesn't have the Dazzling Gleam on it. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. Knock off, of course, get rid of items. Yeah. So next is going to be another wall-breaking mon, which is going to be my Mega Pinsir. Like enough speed to outspeed, I believe. Mew? I'm not sure. Mew and Entei, I think, are the main kind of things. Earthquake, Return, X-Scissor, Quick Attack. I do have X-Scissor on this for Stab and for Mew. We have Quick Attack for priority, of course, and then Earthquake just hits the bulk of his team pretty hard. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Pinsir. And last but not least is going to be my Assault Vest and Mellowater. I was kind of debating as to whether to put this on or Infernape on. But I think the thing is, with Infernape, I'm benching it because it missed an attack last week and I ended up losing the game because of it. So, U-turn, Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Hyper Voice. This does does serve as a nice check to the Conkeldurr if I need it. Dazzling Gleam is for the Mega Sableye. I need to make sure that I don't get walled by that. And Hyper Voice is because he doesn't have he has 2 Ghost types, but he doesn't aside from that he doesn't really have much normal spam switches. So yeah, sorry my voice was a little dodgy, like it is the middle of winter here in Australia, but yeah, that is going to be it, and let's get into the battle. Alright guys, so it's going to be week number 8. We have of course our team here that you did see in the team builder. If you did skip the team builder, there is a Pokepaste in the description as always. As you can see, he actually brought a pretty different team to what I was expecting. Didn't expect to see Moltres over Entei, and I didn't expect to see Gourgeist over something like Tyrantrum. So I'm very relieved Tyrantrum isn't there, because that punched a massive hole in my team. But yeah, aside from that, pretty much what I did expect. So I guess let's get into it. Like the thing I'm really mainly scared of is the Sylveon. If I'm able to get my Zygarde in against the Sableye, then I can set up and potentially win the match. So let's get into it. So I am going to go ahead and leave my Zygarde in hopes to be able to catch out the Sableye. I want to hopefully be able to set up. He does actually lead with his Komala, unfortunately, and I am very scared of Komala because, of course, Choice Band in Last Resort. It just puts on pain, does so much damage to my team. I don't have a proper normal resist aside from my Rotom, which I do decide to switch in here. And luckily he does go for a play rough, so I'm very relieved he's not the Choice Band to Sleep Talk. So here I make probably the stupidest play in Gen 7 history. I completely forgot about Komato's absorbing status here, so unfortunately, I do make a massive misplay. He does go for Shadow Claw, and that's 3 damage on my Rotom. So I decided to go for a Volt Switch, praying that he doesn't hit Sucker Punch. He doesn't, luckily. And so he does just go for a Play Rough again. I think maybe he was predicting Scrafty or Zygarde to come in. I'm going to make a double switch into my Sylveon, predicting the Sableye to come in, and he's going to go into his Gourgeist now. And I'm just going to Baton Pass out into my Pinsir. I just want to be able to get the Mega Evolution off. I am just going to go for a Return, and that is going to be able to knock out the Gourgeist. I'm very surprised that the Gourgeist actually stayed in. It was a regular Gourgeist, as you can see. If it were large Gorgeist, I'm pretty sure it would have guaranteed live the return, and then he had Flame Charge, I'm pretty sure was the set. I'm not sure why he stayed in. I would have just gone for a return into a quick attack anyway. But yeah, I'm going to go for a return, and that is going to knock out the Gorgeist. So yeah. So in comes the Moltres, and I'm scared that this is a Choice Scarf variant, so I'm going to go into my Rotom and Scout. He does go for a Hurricane here. Rotom is going to go down. So here I'm going to go into my Solvest and Meloetta, and he does reveal that he is not a Scarf variant of Moltres, which is very nice. I am going to go for Size Shock and try to put this Moltres in range of a return from the Mega Pinsir. Here I did make a bit of a misplay here. What I probably should have done there was just hit Dazzling Gleam. He had his Fire Resist in here. He had his Fairy Resist in. I could have probably hit Dazzling Gleam and done a sizable chunk to the Mega Sableye. But I actually do go for a Hyper Voice. Not sure what I was predicting there. No, Hyper Voice guaranteed the knockout. I didn't want the Moltres to live because, you know, otherwise Mega Pinsir wouldn't be so free. So I'm going to go for a U-turn, and I go into my Sylveon, and he goes for a Calm Mind, which is really, really upsetting. Going to go for a Hyper Voice and try and get some damage off, but it's not going to do enough. And I'm like, oh well, that's going to be another sweep. He's going to go for a Recover here, and you know, I pray that I can get a Dragon Tail off, but unfortunately he does carry the Dazzling Gleam on Sableye. So I'm thinking it says Calm Mind, Recover, Dazzling Gleam, Dark Pulse. In any case, he probably would not have been able to hit the Pinsir very hard. But here I'm going to go into my Sylveon, and I basically have to pray that he doesn't have any coverage to the point where I could potentially 1v1 him with the Sylveon. But Sylveon is pretty much set up fodder for this Mega Sableye. So I am just going to go for a Hyper Voice, and I get the crit. And that crit is absolutely huge. Because had I not gotten that crit, had Sylveon not got that crit, I would have lost the match there, because he would have just been able to hit Shadow Ball, Shadow Ball, Shadow Ball, and then Dazzling Gleam against Meloetta. But yeah, Dark Pulse, everything, and then, yeah, he would have won. But I got the crit, and I feel so bad because, but like, in a way, it's kind of justice for the Gunk Shot miss that happened last week that caused Tapu Fini to sweep me. But I am going to, Sylveon is going to pull through, get the crit, and knock out the Mega Sableye. So down goes the Mega Sableye, and in comes the Komala. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Baton Pass out into my Meloetta. I want to be able to get some damage off of this Komala potentially. He is going to go for a turn, and I think that plus Burn will unfortunately knock me out. Now I could have gone for a U-turn. No, I do go for a Hyper Voice, and I get the knockout on the Komala. Here I probably could have gone for the U-turn into my Mega Pinsir, and I probably could have potentially won the game with that. But I do go for a Hyper Voice against the Sableye. No, not the Sableye, the Komala, excuse me, and is going to go down. So Mew is going to come in. I'm just going to let Meloetta go down because, you know, Mega Sableye is dead and it's on a minimal amount of health anyway. So I'm going to go into my Mega Pinsir and go for an X-Scissor. And judging by this damage, this is a very, very defensive Primarina. But that's fine because Mega Pinsir can just a return into a quick attack will knock me out, and the Ice Beam has a very favorable incoming Ice Beam has a very favorable role for me to be able to live. I go for a return and I get another crit, and that's just probably just to rub salt in the wound. And I'm really sorry, Recordman, for the crit. I feel really bad about this one. I am going to get the crit on the Primarina. It is going to go down. The crit here didn't matter really that much because there was a very large chance I would have been able to live the Ice Beam from the Primarina because it was a defensive variant. He actually informed me that he clicked Hydro Pump that turn, and I would have been able to guarantee live that with my Mega Pinsir. So I do go for a return, do knock out the Primarina, and in comes the Moltres, and I am just going to be able to clean up with the Mega Pinsir. I am going to go for a return, and I'm going to go for an X-Scissor onto the Mew and knock it out. And that is going to be the 3-0 victory for the Remoraids. It's really bittersweet, this win, because the crit really helped him. For that one, like, had the return not crit, he actually clicked Hydro Pump that turn, so it didn't matter. But you know, I was talking to him. Had he had gone for the Ice Beam against this Mega Pinsir, then he probably would have actually been able to win the match because like provided his Mew carried Vacuum Wave, which he did inform me at the end of the game that the Mew did not have the Vacuum Wave. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. I feel really bad about the crit. I'm really sorry about this, Recordman. But yeah, we do finally manage to get back on our feet here with a win. We basically need to win out in order to get ourselves a decent seed in the playoffs. But you know, we can potentially make it with a 5-7 record, or a 6-6 record. But you know, I want to be able to win out. I want to be able to get a decent spot. My goal is to make it to the top 6 this season for playoffs, because it is a top 8 playoffs seeding, but there's only 12 players, which is a little weird, which means that only 4 people miss the playoffs, and you know, the top 8 go through, of course. But I could potentially make it off a 5-7 record, but I want to be able to make it to the top 6 this season. You know, hopefully I can win out, and that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and yeah, I will see you next week when we play against the I think Jose Ice Cream Swaddlers is how you say it. But yeah, see you guys next week. Bye.